Welcome, Roy here from Yago Yoga. So, step 10 of the 12 steps to more headspace. So let's do a quick check-in. How did you get on with the last practice? Is coming into that beautiful silence in yourself and listening from that place of silence, and then using all the sounds as a reflection to get a greater sense of that silence and that presence within it and the spatial awareness. Because every sound that you hear, there's a moment of silence between that sound and the next. And equally inside, every sensation or sound inside is that there's a moment of silence and then the sound or the sensation and returning to silence. And it's you being aware of that sense of silence and the presence and the space within that is permeating externally and internally. A very, very powerful practice. How did you get on with it? Did it work for you? What was easy about it? What was difficult about it? Did it work in some places or sometimes, but not others? What were they? Let us know. Fill in the comments below. Give us a bit of feedback. It'd be great to hear. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. Share it with your friends. Would be wonderful for us. Build a great community. Get stuck into all these challenges and practices. And again, click the notification to keep yourself up to date. So, step 10. Step 10, what we're going to focus on is gazing. Gazing. Okay, now it'll be an external practice first, and then I want you to do it internally. So now, I want you to keep staring, okay, like I'm staring now. So you get that one-pointed focus. Now, if you do this with your finger, you can do it with me. So now, while I'm staring right at the camera, I'm peripherally looking at the tip of my finger. So now, while I'm staring at you, at the camera, okay, I'm also observing my peripheral vision. I'm following my finger peripherally. So I'm gazing ahead. So now I'm gazing ahead. I'm not particularly looking at anything in particular, but what I'm doing is I'm observing my peripheral vision. And I'm following my peripheral vision all the way out. And out my finger goes, and then in it comes. Out my finger goes, and then in it comes. Now I'm going to follow nearly looked away there. I'll follow my peripheral vision all the way back, to one-centeredness. Okay, so again, got to snap out of that a little bit, because when you start to gaze like that, what happens is that your focus becomes really clear, and you get a wonderful sense of clarity, not just of the one pointed in front of you, but your spatial awareness. Your peripheral vision begins to open up, and the spatial sense of that. That's very powerful. It's a beautiful way that you observe auras. That's basically how you do it. If you want to observe somebody's aura, is gaze at them, and then let your gaze just take in all of their body. And as you take in all of their body, you start to notice the different lights and energies of them. Okay. It's beautiful. Again, it's a different workshop. But for now, is become aware of your peripheral vision while gazing. Okay? Now, you do that externally, and notice how you start to notice you're seeing so much more of what's going on in front of you. But you're not looking at one particular thing, you're observing it all at once. So your peripheral vision and your spatial awareness really opens up. You're able to actually drink in more of the view, so to speak. Now, I want you to do it internally also. And what I mean by that is that rather than looking out, you're looking in. Remember your mind's eye, you're looking in, you're observing your body, you're observing what you feel, you're observing your thoughts, and then in that, just begin to gaze. And as you gaze, notice how your peripheral vision opens up, and then you notice all the space around your thoughts. You'll notice that there can be different thoughts occupying the same space. Sometimes we're having 2 or 3 thoughts at the same time, and that they're juggling. They might be juggling for a bit of attention, or they're binding together, finding their way to come together. There's lots of things that have been going on with those thoughts. But when you're observing your peripheral, it allows you to see the different patterns. Okay, and it's opening up the spatial awareness at a visual point, and your watcher is really expanding into that space. The watcher within you, the consciousness within you that watches. Okay, very, very powerful. And again, a bit trippy. So you find myself, I'm like, I can't look away now. So you find yourself, if you find yourself at times gazing so much till you just keep being drawn into whatever you're gazing at, think about how powerful that concentration is. That it's one pointed focus, is one pointed continual flow of concentration, and notice how it takes on a life of its own. Now that's powerful. But now imagine having that same experience peripherally, that you're concentrating and observing everything at once. You see a lot more, and it's wonderful. And you're doing it from a greater sense of presence and consciousness in yourself and your spatial awareness. Very, very powerful. So have a bit of fun with it. It's 3 days. If you do 10 times a day, it's good. 20 times a day is great. 30 times a day is amazing. Anything from 30 seconds or so, whatever amount of time it takes you just to drop into the gaze on your peripheral vision. And that's it. Again, if you find yourself going into it longer, you have a bit of time and you could do it. If you find yourself doing it for a minute or two, is merge into it. Let yourself go into it. Just merge into that beautiful space and just let yourself be in it. And you find yourself naturally meditating, just absorbing into it. You find a lovely oneness within yourself, within that awareness that is the watcher, and that consciousness within that wonderful sense of yourself really expands. Beautiful. So have a great day.